Let
me double check the old feed. Make sure we're make sure we're live. Gong show. I should just have like a real good setup here, but I never do. Yeah, I've got a whole little Steam adventure to talk about here in a second.
Yeah, I'll be hearing this for the first time. I'll be doing the Eric Marcoat.
There's no marking out. This is hanging your head in shame. And well, one of the issues I was trying to, because the new update's ready to go. I mean, we've got the button remapping and all that kind of stuff. All of our testing is passed with flying colors, and about 90 minutes ago, I was uploading it. Everything was cool, except I think the Steam network's having some problems. Because this is I'll back up a little bit. This is coming off the heels. Last week, we were talking some pretty big shit about how I was going to be able to get that Mac version out and everything, and
of course.
Well, of course. You know, like I said, I'm not beating myself too much up about it because it's hard plumbing. What happens is you've got all these different script files and you've got all these different bits of plumbing, and then you also have to like pre-process your Mac app so that it either talks right with the Steam servers or something. And so I've gotten all the stuff. I've got all the final mechanics working. I got it after about 80 tries. I finally got the mechanics working, so things were downloading to like a test channel and all this kind of stuff, and it was working great. But the problem was somehow the app got corrupted in midstream. And so I'd be sitting there downloading, and the executable would not work. What is going on in the background, Dave?
Remember that cat in Heat I told you about?
Oh, gross.
Turns out it also gets hungry once a week.
Once a week?
Why? How often do you feed your cat?
Oh, God. Well, my girlfriend, feeds me. We're already trying to plot like a vacation next week, and she's like,
"Oh man,
hey, we almost had to take the cats with us because they can't. God forbid they go for food without a couple of days." All right, anyway, she's not here. She's not listening tonight, so I can talk as much smack as I want. No, but so anyway, yeah. So I went through this process, and what sucks is because one of the things that drives you crazy is as we all have been, it's been completely established that my internet connection is terrible. Not terrible, but enough to where, basic things like uploading takes forever. And these game files are not tiny anymore. So every time that I screw something up or I think I have it and I make one silly little mistake, I have to take another 90 minutes out of my life to get the upload going again, to re-upload everything to the Steam servers. And so you have 3 or 4 shots a day on this because it literally locks up my whole workflow because I can't get any work done because the upload takes just dominates my network. And so I got all the way through this, and I finally got everything working, and I was getting everything downloaded. And when you go to run the Mac app, it just says the executable just crashes right on command. And I don't know if it's something that we're doing, like the app needs to be built a little bit differently, or if it's completely on me, or if I don't actually need to process the app. The whole thing makes my head hurt. So fast forward to today, because Dave has been a wonderful CEO, and he's been emailing, "Hey, is it done yet? Is it done yet? Is it done yet? Is it done yet?"
That's my job.
And I keep telling him, Dave, I'm busy. I'm really trying. I swear to God, I'm trying. So I'm trying. So coming off the heels, I sent him this message. I sent Dave this message, like, dude, I'm zonked out on it. I need a day away from it, and I'm going to try again tomorrow, and I'll get the PC version, online and all this stuff, and everybody will be totally happy. And so yeah, I'm going in and just doing the normal process like I do because I've done this build quite a few times. And yeah, I go and I try to upload the files tonight, and I get upload failure, like over and over again. I tried like 7 different times, and so now you can just imagine my mood. I'm like I'm tired. I've been working since 5:30 this morning on a website, and I'm gassed, and of course, I'm getting the some kind of an error message. It's just total crap. And so I go online thinking that, okay, great. All my experiments with the Mac version, I've completely boned everything now. I've completely oh God, I've destroyed everything. Turns out I get into the Steamworks forums, and everybody else is having the same trouble too tonight. So I'm breathing a sigh of relief, but unfortunately, it means that the update will not happen, unfortunately, tonight. I'm going to try again a little bit, in an hour, and see if they just kind of got everything cleared up. But
so it sounds like it's a problem on the Steam end.
Well, the PC stuff. I know that Mac version, I've got something screwed up on my end. But that temporarily, for getting this PC version going, it's clearly something on Steam ends tonight. At least I hope so. I mean, it's the only thing that's making any sense. Other people are having the same problems too, so that's how it goes sometimes. So it's just kind of the day that I'm having. Although my day's not going bad, it's just long. I've got another, probably 3 or 4 hours of work after this. And,
first world problems, eh?
Well, I'm just getting too old to do this stuff, man. Oh my God, I'm sorry. I'm not even paying attention to chat.
Chat? Yeah, let's say hi to everybody. Hi, everybody.
We got our usuals in here. I think we've got Road Warrior Ace in here. I haven't seen him in a little while on here.
Yeah. You saying we should have named our company Body Slam Inc., man. I kind of rushed.
That's Nav, right?
Yeah, Nav.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, I try to keep all the I try to get all the names straight for all the long time usernames, but sometimes I get them all mixed up. Yeah, Nav, we're trying to get that PC version online probably later tonight. Like I said, Steam was just having some problems. I think at least I wasn't the only one. I'll say that much. I mean, maybe it was all of us.
You missed a perfect opportunity to just say it's not my fault.
It's not because it's not 1996 anymore. When was that gimmick?
Dude, you would be surprised at the references wrestling gamers get.
I know they get it, but I just, I'm trying to keep myself very current. I'm a man of great hipster cred. I almost got that.
I was buying lunch today, of all things, and the guy behind the counter was chatting me up or whatever, and we got on the subject of what I do during the day, and I was talking about making video games and wrestling games and whatnot. He says, "Oh man, there hasn't been a wrestling game in a long time, a good one." I'm like, "Yeah, man, we're kind of No Mercy fans over here." And the dude behind the counter just pops huge, like Brock Lesnar just walked in the joint or something, right? And I'm like, how hilarious is it that it's 2016 and the guy making my sandwich pops for No Mercy?
Dude, No Mercy is the one great language. It's great. It's weird to hear Eric having problems. Now it sounds like I always thought this was part therapy session for me every week. So I always thought that you guys are sick of my crap by now. Don't want to hear any of my stuff. But
Twitch is our psychiatrist coach.
Oh God, I dread going back into reviewing these someday. God, it's oh my God.
We already laugh our asses off reviewing old newsletters. Yeah, you can imagine this, right? A groan says, "Can CZW wrestler Brain Damage be in the game?" Rest in peace, Brain Damage. Well, we don't officially have any wrestlers join in the game roster, but we're hoping we can give you a creator wrestler with enough authentic moves and parts you can create anybody you want eventually. Funny side note, back in the day when we first started this project, we were actually working with Sick Nick Mando, and we actually had him modeled and ready for the game and whatnot.
I don't think I knew that. How early was that?
This is prototype days when Daryl Croswell was doing the art for us, and he actually modeled.
You were in touch with Mando. Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Oh, I assume that means you know Mando, right? Yeah.
Well, I know who he is. I mean, I don't have obviously know him personally or anything, but
he had actually. It was not too long after he retired, and I don't even know how the hell I got in touch with him, come to think of it. Yeah, we got a signed letter of intent from him, we modeled everything up, and then I forget what the hell happened. It might have been the fact that we didn't make a game in 10 years.
Yeah, or maybe he got concussed so many times that he just completely forgot about it.
Yeah. Jesus, I know, yeah. Oh, well. So yeah, what I love about CZW is I'm the hardcore wrestling kind of proponent on the crew, and I can't wait to actually do some of the stuff that they do that WWE games could never even attempt to do, So that'll be fun, man. I'm not a fan of actual human beings risking their lives like they do in CZW. But as far as a video game, yeah, I want to throw someone off a scaffold through 3 layers of burning tables, you know?
Hey, we got Chris Law popping in tonight, and I haven't seen him in a
Chris
little
Law.
bit. Our Sax dude, welcome to the chat. Yeah, we've got a few people here tonight. Sorry, I'm in another one of my modes where I'm taking a lot of screenshots tonight. Sorry, I'm being that guy. Everybody loves it when I do that, but.
Speaking of that guy, man, I got to give huge props to Chris Law because it was a while ago, months ago, that your typical troll hater came into the Facebook forums trying to start something with us, right? And Chris Law actually just took him to school and schooled him so bad on the realities of Pro Wrestling X development that the guy disappeared and never went away.
What was the conspiracy theory of choice? Was it scam Canadian government? Was it which one was it?
I can't remember what it was. It was something along the lines of, yeah, these guys are scammers and they're not really making a video game and blah blah blah.
Oh, that's right, because I forgot we were on our private island. That's right. We can't let anybody know that.
That we're sitting on a pile of money.
That we're actually sitting on a pile of money. Yeah, just on an island somewhere.
I know everybody's heard like stories about games on Steam making $1 million in one day, but believe me, that's not us. We haven't been featured on the front page. Almost. We haven't been featured on the Steam front page of a sale yet. Lord knows when that day finally comes. I expect to pay my power bill that day.
We may be able to make hundreds and hundreds. No, you know what? Probably tens and tens of dollars.
Tens and tens.
Tens and tens of dollars.
I don't know, man. Do you remember looking at the stats when we first launched on, I think it was Greenlight, when we launched our Greenlight, and they would actually show you the stats of how much traffic you got or how many votes you got to your page when it was first listed. And I guess at that time, maybe Greenlight projects might have been rotated to the front page of Greenlight for a day. And it was a spike the size of Mount Everest.
Well, we still do get it. When you do the summer sales and stuff, they have like a random rotation that I believe everybody gets their little moment in the sun, I think.
Well, I don't know. I mean, definitely the numbers are affected during the sale, even though we're not one of those games that will deep discount to 99 cents during a sale. I think I get why games do that, and I might get into trouble with other developers who do that, but we're not trying to make a throwaway, disposable 99-cent game.
Well, we don't have like a whole monetization, all the banner ads and all the in-game content purchases and all this kind of stuff. It's like this is it for right now. So if we want to keep going, we kind of have to make a little bit. Oh, geez, here comes interference.
Well, it's just the strategy some developers take is they deep discount to 99 cents, and they actually make more money hand over fist on volume of sales because people are like scooping up the 99-cent games, right? Whereas we don't do that. We discount by like 20%. It's a healthy little chunk of change, I guess, a little bit. It's worth listing at least for that sale, right? So. Yeah, I just feel that...
Wait a minute, we've got a Jawbreaker in this game?
Jawbreaker?
Yeah. I've never used that before. The opponent just nailed me, and I don't know how to do it.
It's funny how, if you're not used to pressing a certain direction when you do a move, you might never press that direction and not know it's there. Yeah, I just saw him do it.
Oh, we gotta give Nav some credit for his Road Warriors mod. Gotta give him a little love. We gave you tons of love last week, man. I tell you what.
Oh yeah. I don't think Nav was here.
Oh, look at that. Was he? Was he here last week? I
think Colgan was here last week.
Colgan was here. Colgan popped in at the last minute. So.
Yeah, you guys got to go to the Steam forums and check out the Road Warriors CAW that Road Warrior Ace made with Colgan's face paint. I believe Colgan was the guy responsible for the face paint.
He was. It was a tag team effort. Yeah. That looked great. It looked really cool.
Oh, it looked sick. It looked way better than the Road Warriors have ever looked in a video game. We still need to make the spike shoulder pads, but we need to spike shoulder pads.
I liked them a lot in WrestleFest, and maybe that was just an 8-bit glory, but I thought that was cool too.
I think they were in all of the Legends of Wrestling games, but they always had that cartoony kind of action.
Never played Legends of Wrestling. I never played that one. I saw it. Maybe I played it a little bit in a Best Buy once. I can't remember.
Well, aside from the roster, which is really neat because it's the only game with like things like Devon Eriks and God, what's his name? The Claw, Baron von Raschke.
Baron von Raschke is in a video game, and I don't
Yeah.
played it.
Exactly. So it's fun for that reason. Although they'll do stupid things like the move list is where they really didn't spend any money. So like Roddy Piper will do a Stone Cold fucking stunner.
Oh, right. Well, because his
So
finisher was really just a sleeper. He didn't really have a real good finisher. Like that's kind of what his thing was, and so that's kind of a hard,
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna put on a sleeper, and you want something with a little more impact. But you're right.
Hard thing to do back in the day, man. Not to go ADD on you, but speaking of the sleeper and weak moves like the sleeper and the headlock, did you see Paul Heyman on the Stone Cold podcast a long time ago?
A long time ago. Yeah, I don't remember.
I love what he said because Stone Cold was complaining about how the DDT used to be a finisher and now everybody does it 10 times in a match and kicks out, right? And Heyman was like, man, you take Mark Henry, you give him the headlock, just a headlock, and the announcers just sell it like the headlock is killing somebody. And you guarantee that the rest of the roster never, ever does a headlock. He's like, give it 2 months, and the headlock is over.
Totally.
Yeah. So anyway, that's my little
Speaking of which, it was fun. It was fun watching Raw this week. It was fun. What did you think of Extreme Rules? We haven't talked since then.
I enjoyed some of the matches, but man, they're definitely milking that word extreme because wasn't much extreme about it.
Well, you know what I mean. But it's
but
that AJ match. I tell you what, that guy. I think the more that I watch that cat wrestle, the more that I'm just astounded. And I think Roman Reigns takes way too much shit. I think he's I think he's a great worker, and I love watching him work. And it's just when he gets on the stick, and everybody hears me talk about this every week, but I just think he takes so much shit, and it drives me crazy sometimes.
Yeah, I was actually listening to the Taz podcast today. And he was going on, you can hate on the way Reigns was booked and legitimately hate it. But he's like, anybody who hates him as a wrestler, as a worker, or as an employee doesn't know what the hell they're talking about.
Right.
Because, he's working.
How is the Taz podcast? I've never actually watched or listened to one of his.
I enjoy it because, I respect his perspective, so, yeah, I dig it.
Does he do a good job?
Well, yeah. I mean, he does a good job insofar as the information is interesting. He's always talking about, WWE, obviously, and he always gets into the booking, and what he likes and what he thinks they did wrong, So, he thought it was absolutely insane that the day after Extreme Rules, Roman Reigns just stood there and did nothing about being pedigreed and having his championship belt held above his head by Seth Rollins, right? He's like, the next day, whether you're face or you're heel, you can't just do nothing,
right? Right.
It just kills you. It kills you. And I'm like, yeah, man, I get it, He's like, whether you think they should flip the switch on who's heel and face based on what the fans want, that's fine. He was like, but regardless of which way you think it should go, having him do nothing was dumb,
Well, I said my thing is I get a little tired of the fantasy booking with all the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I get a little tired of turn this guy heel and everybody being like everybody was all butthurt about Seth Rollins coming out and being a bad guy last night on Raw. Like, oh my God, everybody wanted him to be a super face guy. It's like, have you been paying attention to Seth Rollins for 3 years? The guy's an asshole. Like that's his character. He's not gonna just all of a sudden be like, hey, we love everybody now. No, he came out there and he just told the fans what's up, and it was great.
Yeah, exactly.
I had absolutely no problem with it, but everybody was like, "Oh my God, wait!" Oh my God, they ruined it. They ruined it in the first 5 minutes when he came out there, and it's just like, you know what, guys? Can you just enjoy it for a little bit, just a little bit?
Yeah,
exactly.
All right. It's okay just to sit back and enjoy it, right? Man, we are totally ignoring chat. Okay, let me see what we can do here. Agron wants to know if you can make a thumbtack jack claw. Right now, the actual creative wrestler parts in the game are really, really thin because we're just testing the feature and getting it to work. So you don't have a lot of parts to work with. But if you really like making detailed visuals for your wrestler, we give you all access to all the textures for the characters, so you can go through and you can paint tights in as much detail as you want, way more detail than any console wrestling game will ever give you. So that's kind of fun to do. Just scrolling down here, Agron says Tyrador needs to be the spear. Tyrador is kind of a lucha fighter though, so I don't know if he'd do a spear, man. Alex Van Dam, I want the cradle pile driver. So do I.
Oh man,
I do too. We've got a really good pulling pile driver in the game right now, but yeah, I'd love the cradle.
Let's see if I can figure. I can't remember how to do all these moves. So when you've got the analog stick, sometimes I have trouble getting the like the correct down to work.
Yeah. Video game wrap up in chat, which is my friend Louis. And man, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. I'm just a Canadian who always says Louis, so I'm really sorry, man. Video game wrap up, Louis, who I think you are. He said, interesting to see the Cody Rhodes Ask Wars release. Man, yeah. I think I read everything Cody said, and it makes total sense. It basically boils down to, if it's too long didn't read, he basically said, look, I believe I could be the guy, and they never believed I could be the guy, so no hard feelings. I loved all the opportunity, but time to move on, because I'm never going to be the guy.
I read bitter into that.
Well, he was definitely...
He burned some bridges, at least a little bit.
Some of the writers he just called out for being slime, right?
Well, you don't do that when you're on your way out. You really shouldn't do that, because there's always rumors that WWE is trying to blacklist him now across a bunch of leagues. Ooh, look at that shot. I like it.
Yeah, man, I don't know. I don't know if they do that. Well, then again, I don't know them, right? So what the hell am I talking about? But I think it was cool. I think it's cool that he at least he talks. He says what's up. Adam Rose also, he also
was another
said
one. I mean, I don't blame either one of those guys for taking off. I mean, that's Cody was never really used well. Although, like I said, I think Cody is probably an all right guy. Like, I really have no problem with Cody Rhodes, but I would never pay money to watch him wrestle, and I think that's really.
Well, the thing is,
he was more interesting as Stardust. I will give him that.
I will say he seemed really bitter about the Stardust gimmick, but I thought
it's the only thing that
as
made
a fan,
him interesting.
He rocked Stardust. He rocked that crazy asshole Stardust gimmick. I loved it, but that's just me.
About that right there.
And I just realized today that was Starman, and I didn't even get it. That's how
maybe.
The face makeup was Starman's.
Well, it wasn't. Yeah, but it wasn't like, purple.
He never did the backflip drop kick. No, but what else we got going over here? AJ just about killed himself putting over Roman. Yeah.
God, I said he is such a big game. You put him in any situation, AJ just delivers every time. It is absolutely astounding to me.
Agron also says Grimhold's finisher needs to be a power bomb. Yeah, I agree, man.
I've always been the advocate for the power bomb for Grimhold. I think that's just some kind of a power move, like a torture rack or something. But
Agron wants to know, will light tube weapons be in the game? Yeah, we were actually talking about which weapons to add, and we were talking about the light tube being a really good. Not to pull the curtain too far back on the development of the game and the business, but light tubes are awesome because they're supposed to disappear after one hit. So we don't have to animate 3 different levels of damage for a light tube or anything, Swing a light tube, hit, boom, it blows up and disappears. So that's a really cheap weapon to add to the game as far as time and resources go, right? So definitely want to put light tubes. But you know what? When I would do light tubes in the game, it's one thing to pick up a light tube. I want the Fire Pro Wrestling 4 corners of light tubes freaking secured to plywood. Where you can Irish whip a guy into the corner full of light tubes. I gotta see that, man.
I agree.
Alex Van Dam, will you be able to carry weapons to the ring as an option in the future, like Legends of Wrestling? Short answer is yes. Long answer is future in Pro Wrestling X time. Could be a long time.
Pro Wrestling X time. God, that pile looks so great. That looks so
actually,
great.
Patrick over at Review Fix actually posted that to his Facebook today.
What's that?
The pile driver animation in our game. He loved it. Yeah.
Said that
it's really good.
It's just some fun stuff. I mean, it is just. You just slow it down. See, that's what we need to be doing. Is I need to figure out how to get some good gifs of all this stuff so that we can post this stuff. A lot of our screenshots have been going over pretty here. The one I posted last week, I said that was my favorite, I think, of all time.
Yeah, that was good. Quick aside, didn't the guy who invented the file format say it's pronounced GIF?
Don't know. I've heard, you hear these things that are the urban legends at a certain point.
Yeah.
All I know is it's not called graphics image format. it's graphics with a hard G. So I've heard the way
what
that
word actually starts with a soft G. Does any other word soft with a start G?
Giraffe.
Or start with a soft G? Yeah, okay.
Geranium. Geronimo.
Yeah. Speaking of
gerund.
Sorry. Well, man, never ask a Scrabble guy about words. Okay.
Yeah. No, because it was
Road Warrior Ace.
Yeah,
exactly. Road Warrior Ace wants to know. Actually, he's stated for, and Nav, I'm just teasing you here. Road Warrior Ace says for about the 100th time that he wants the homicide backdrop driver in the game for his Dr. Death caw. He didn't say for Dr. Death, but I know him well enough.
I was just gonna say.
Yeah.
That's all right.
And
I love you, brother.
I want it in there too, man. Absolutely. Let's see here. Chris Law. I can't wait for Demolition.
Asking us about the box 10, edition.
Hey, Chris. Speaking of Demolition's face paint, Colgan, who's not in chat tonight, but he's the guy who did the Road Warriors face paint in the Steam forums and actually made them available for everybody to download. He actually told me on chat, or maybe it was in the forum. Either way. He said he's going to be away for a few weeks, but when he does come back to Pro Wrestling X, the first thing he wants to do is Demolition's face paint. So
Demolition. I have to admit, looking back on it now, it is astonishing how just Road Warrior knockoffs they were. But you know what? I still really liked them. I really liked Demolition. I loved their leather masks when they came out. They just look like such badasses.
Yeah.
Like I said, it was kind of gimmick infringement. I mean, there's no, let's not be, too bashful about it. But still.
Did the Road Warriors ever face them in WWF?
I don't believe so.
Wow, that's interesting, man. That's interesting. Speaking of masks, I loved it when Vader wore that damn freaking
elephant mask. That thing that shot. Oh my God, that was like a pivotal part of my childhood. Was that Vader mask? I wanted that. I didn't know what that. I just wanted it. I still, I got to tell you, if I ever become a millionaire, that's one of the things I want to buy. Is I want to buy a replica of Vader's ring entrance mask. Make that happen for me, Dave.
Okay.
We got to have somebody. We got to know somebody that can do that. We got Jesse on the belts. We have to have some kind of a. Although that would actually just be a fun. You know how Adam Savage from MythBusters does all those builds where he'll build a replica of the Maltese Falcon.
Yeah.
And he just gets completely obsessed. Maybe I had to go on a quest to make the perfect
Vader's
Vader.
mask.
Dude, I actually. That'd be pretty hard. Because just trying to find specs on it would be a bitch. But
right? You'd be looking
lots
at
of reference photography and stuff, and just looking at all the old video. But
speaking of belts, so you mentioned Jesse Justice on the belts. Actually, Nav, Road Warrior Ace. Wait, no, I'm thinking of somebody else. Never mind, sorry, Nav. We've got a few people wanting to actually help us design some belts.
I would love to design a belt. I think that would be the neatest thing.
Oh yeah,
I've never tried, and I'll bet it's a lot harder than it looks. Because I think, like I said, you're looking at a total pro when it comes to Jesse. I just think his stuff is just amazing.
Yeah, if people in chat aren't familiar, Jesse Justice, if you ever played our previous quote-unquote game, Pro Wrestling X Uprising, you might remember the character select screen that was actually cartoon art of each character's face, like a headshot of each character. It was really, really wicked 2D kind of comic book style art. That was an artist named Jesse Justice. He's not in chat tonight. I don't think he's ever been in chat.
I don't think
But
he's ever
actually,
been in chat. He would be another fun one to get
oh,
on
he's
Skype.
awesome. He's got so much dirt. I don't know how much he'd actually be able to say in public, but I talked to him for the longest time because he's done belts. He's actually designed the belts for. I think they did all of the belts for Lucha Underground,
Well, they've
except
got
for
that the big one with the coins. I forget what that's
yeah,
called.
the Gift of the Gods belt.
Yeah.
He did that. Yeah, and they did. He didn't do the very first belt that Lucha Underground used. That they actually ended up tearing up on screen because it sucked so much, and they've replaced it with one of Jesse's belts. So Jesse did all the belts in Lucha Underground since then. He's done all of Jeff Jarrett's Global Force Wrestling belts. He did Jeff Hardy's belt that he used in TNA, the Jeff Hardy belt. He did.
We got a glitchathon going on here. This is something. Are you watching this? We have our. I guess I can't call him Sting. What's his real name? What's the name of the we've given him in this?
I think we call him Death Drop or something in the game. I think.
Got to. He is.
Oh my God!
He is having a rough go of it. I want to see if the screenshot mode, like if I advance. Oh no, he's still doing it in screenshot mode. Wow.
Oh, cool.
He's
teleporting. It's a feature, not a bug.
Wow. It's like who was the boxer that they gave him the Indian guy with the turban, and he would fly around in a circle and try to attack you. Like that's what he's doing.
I don't know who you're talking about, but it sounds racist.
It is incredibly racist. Oh my God, it was horrible. Well, it wasn't bad. I mean, it wasn't like it wasn't like really awful. But
Did you see Edge and Christian's show where one of the prizes was Fuji's racist salt?
Oh, racist salt is great. They've done that. They've referenced that a bunch of times on the show. It's pretty funny.
God. Louis again, video game wrap up. Says Dave wants a death match, and yes, Alex Van Dam says PWX death match, and we need the 15-minute time bomb death match like in Japan. That's the very first death match we're going to offer because the 1.0 version of Pro Wrestling X that we're working towards here to fill the Kickstarter promises is going to have a cage. And all you need for a Fire Pro Wrestling exploding cage death match is a cage and an explosion animation. So, yeah, it shouldn't be too bad to at least start there and resurrect the mighty Fire Pro Wrestling cage death match, the exploding time bomb.
I can't wait. That's for me. It's that kind of shit that I just cannot wait for this game to really flesh out. It's just like I said, those little touches. It hasn't an exploding cage hasn't been done in a really long time. If memory serves.
No. Or the electrified exploding cage where you Irish whip a guy into the cage and sparks fly. Did
I ever show you that one YouTube video where it was like every gimmick you could think of, and on top of that, and then on top of that, it was midgets. On top of it. It was midgets, electrified cage with the tear gas. It's just like, that's what I can't wait. I cannot wait for just like I said, I would love a midget mod. I'm one of like 5 people on this planet that thinks that would be really awesome in a wrestling game to do some I mean, shit, Hornswoggle's available. Maybe we get him to do like creator wrestling.
Midgets are a turning point for people. My wife is a diehard.
I don't know I really don't know what the nice term is for it. I apologize.
Little people. But you know what? I'm kind of at odds with the term because a midget wrestling actual federation traveling show came through town not too long ago, and they billed themselves as midget wrestling. So I'm like,
did you go? And why not?
No, it was at a bar, and I'm thinking, how sad must that be? I don't know, but I didn't want to go see midget wrestling at a bar with a bunch of rednecks in southern Alberta where I live. It's not going to be
you're probably
a good deal, right? But I thought it was interesting. Like, they bill themselves as midgets, so how's it offensive? I don't know. So but yeah, short story. My wife hates wrestling, right? Like, hates it. Although recently, I forget what we were watching. I think it was before WrestleMania, but we were watching a Battle Royal or something, and somebody picked up, what's his name? Torito, whatever?
Yeah.
Picked him up and threw him at another wrestler like a projectile, and my wife's jaw hit the floor, and she's like, did someone just throw a midget at a guy? I think I like wrestling now.
Oh my
For
god.
some reason, throwing midgets around makes people watch wrestling, so they know what they're doing when they're booking it.
Well, I guess I said it's like I said it's you think back to like WrestleMania 3 when you had Bundy versus the midgets and just how like awful that was. I mean, like you
Oh
just
my god.
it is just astonishingly like on bad taste, but I don't know,
Uh,
different era.
Louis saying electrified steel cage with explosions on the outside. Yeah, in Fire Pro Wrestling, you actually had an option where instead of mats, it would be plywood covered or plywood with C4 explosives or barbed wire. You could actually choose. So when you threw a guy out, it would like blow up and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, yeah, I'd love to see that resurrect, man. That would be friggin' awesome.
Yeah,
Egg
'cause
Grown
like I
says
said,
we
I
need.
just can't think of another game that's done it.
Nope, nobody has. Although it was one of Aki's very last games. This is way after Def Jam. They did a few of those. Oh, what is it? It was Galactic Wrestling or something, like a kids' morning wrestling show.
Oh yeah.
It was like Pokemon, over the top characters. It was just
Mm-hmm.
ridiculous, right? And they did a game for them, and they actually did, I think, an electric rope match in that, but it
Really?
wasn't very
Wow.
hardcore because it was kind of like a cartoony kind of game, but they did it. But he actually said we should do a no ropes match too, and I would love to do that. I don't know
Yeah, I
why.
think that would be a neat. If for no other reason than just like the visual would be sweet.
Nav said, Road Warrior 8 said Road Warriors faced Demolition at least twice in the WWF.
Guess I don't remember that. I did not think that those eras crossed at all. I thought Demolition was brought in to be almost. I don't want to even call it like a rib on the Road Warriors, but like, hey, this is going to be our version, and I didn't think that they ever
Yeah.
crossed paths.
It's like, hey, they're popular somewhere else and they won't come here, so we'll make our own version. Yeah,
Well, I
exactly.
mean, they were in the W, and then maybe they left on a bad note. I don't know. The Road Warriors were just one of those guys that they were just everywhere. Like you just never could keep track of what league they were in at
I
any
know.
one time. They were just awesome that way.
Honestly, I think if Hawk was still kicking, they'd still be.
Probably.
Because even at their age, they still look like brick shithouses, Like,
Well,
I
all
think
they got to
could
do
still
is just
do
show up anywhere those shoulder pads, and it's like, yep,
I
I'm in.
know. I almost, and this is going to be sacrilegious, but I know when they were trying to turn, what's his name, Heidenreich?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Heidenreich. They brought Heidenreich out in Road Warriors face paint once, maybe twice. And I was like, oh, I see what you're doing there. And I was, you know what? I wouldn't have been offended if they replaced Hawk. But yeah,
Not,
I'm glad they.
I would
I'm
be.
glad they
I would
didn't.
be. Don't call them the Road Warriors. Don't come out with a
Yeah.
gimmick. It is his gimmick.
But how
Nobody
many
else.
iterations of the Horseman has there been? Like, I don't
Well,
know.
how many good ones? I mean, there's really only been like, dude, you got Paul Roma part of that club.
Yeah, even he got picked on the Four Horsemen DVD. It was pretty bad. Let's see here. Agro wants to know, can me and my friends help make belts? We aren't actually making belts yet. And we're only going to start the game with a few and then hopefully have a belt editor. But it would be fun to have people create belts and see if we can include them in the game, It'd be kind of neat. Have user-created belts ship in the game. I think it'd be fun.
Absolutely, I think that'd be really fun.
Exactly. Let's see. Joe sent us a link in chat to the greatest belt of all time, and I'm clicking on it, and it's not Tub Girl. Thank you, Joe.
God,
It is Vader's elephant mask. Yeah, that is badass,
I
man.
told you. I said that would be a fun quest. I would totally go on. On that that kind of a quest to see if I could build.
How the hell would you make it? You have to vacuum form it or something. Like, what the hell would you do?
Yeah, I probably don't have the right equipment, but because
Somebody could model it and you could 3D print it, maybe.
I said it'd be. I said that there's got to be like somebody's probably modeled it. I could probably get Mr. Wrestling 5 to model it for me in 3D.
Maybe. Well, considering WCW just reused the Stormtrooper mask for Shockmaster there, they probably didn't go too far to make Vader's mask
No,
either.
it's totally different. That was like I said. It started with it looked like a pair of, like I said, NFL shoulder pads, and then you're just kind of building on. That'd be. I'll bet. You know what? I will bet the internet is so deep. I'll bet there is an FAQ out there that describes that mask in like unbelievable detail.
What's bizarre is I'm looking at it right now and I actually see elephant ears. I think. No, they're not. They're like
No, I
pig
don't think
ears.
I just remember because it had that trunk, but it didn't have ears.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
it
I think
looks
there
like
was
it's
a
got
couple of different iterations of it. I know Vader's told some different stories because he had one that lit up, and he said the damn thing. I think he said the thing was pretty heavy too. It was
Hey,
not.
Joe. Joe in chat here says the gift of the God's belt is awesome. I hope Jesse won't mind me telling the story. I don't think it's bad. But when they introduced the gift of the God's belt on Lucha Underground, um, the booker there, the owner, or whatever, at least as far as the story goes, came out to the ring with the gift of the God's belt, right? But he didn't show the actual medallions. He had them in a bag, and they were all secret and dramatic about the actual medallions, right? And that was because the medallions weren't ready yet. They didn't actually have them for the belt.
Really?
So they actually had to come up with some way of making it like they had them, but they didn't. So they pretended they were in a bag, and they didn't put them on the belt by choice. But it was just because they were in a real hurry to showcase the belt, and didn't give them time to actually finish the whole magnetic medallion thing. So
That's pretty
sorry,
funny.
Jesse. Sorry, Jesse, if I blew it there.
That's all right.
Actually, one of my favorite insider stories about wrestling games is we have someone who used to be on our crew, Jaina. She worked on Legends of Wrestling way back in the day.
I
She
didn't
actually
know
was,
that.
yeah. She modeled. She was the first person. If you played Pro Wrestling X Uprising, she actually was the initial designer of the Hammerlock venue. Although it got redone a few times before we shipped it. She was the first one to model it, and she did the first Tirador model and gave us her first wrestler model and everything, right? But she actually, how I found her was I saw a profile online on one of the gaming websites of her career, and she actually worked on Legends of Wrestling. So I got in touch and said, "Hey, I'm making a wrestling game, and I need somebody who knows what they're doing to help me make some base models." And we hired her to do it, right? But she was telling me that during Legends of Wrestling, you know how Hulk Hogan comes to the ring, and he'll reach over, you know, when he's walking down the aisle, he'll reach over and he'll like slap fans' hands kind of as he's walking to the ring, you know. And she was like, we got Hulk Hogan animated slapping the fans' hands, but then the director of the game said they didn't have enough money to animate the actual crowd slapping his hands back. So that's why when you watch Legends of Wrestling, Hulk Hogan walks to the ring slapping the air's hands on his way to the ring.
That's
You know?
fantastic.
Well, they were supposed to have a scaffold match actually too.
I was just talking to somebody about that the other day, scaffold matches, and how
People keep asking.
it's really hard to have. Like I've never really seen a good scaffold match, I have to admit.
Well, it's going to be a shitty game. Like we're going to put a scaffold match in, and I don't want to be defeatist about it. But how do you make that fun? You beat somebody up and you kick them off the scaffold.
Everything is totally geared towards the spot at the end.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that will be the fun part, is to just see how many different ways and how people can send people crashing and all that kind of stuff. So
Yeah, we've talked about how we're going to make that unique each time, right? So I think that'll be cool. But yeah, just getting that spot to happen. You know, you'll have to earn it, and yeah, it'll be cool. Yeah. Let's see here. I'm just going through chat. Alex Van Dam is saying something about awesome, and he can sleep in peace tonight. I don't know what he's referring to, but it has something to do with us being awesome, so I'll take it. Yeah. Again, Agron says, Cage of Death and no ropes barbed wire match. Oh, I want to do it, but I want to be able to do the stuff like Sabu and Terry Funk, you know, in the barbed wire matches where they
if we ever had like some springboard, that kind of stuff, that would be a fun interaction to be able to do like springboards or some of the Sabu shit, like off chairs and all that stuff, would just be insane.
That'd be crazy.
Dave, it happened again. I can't remember which character I'm controlling. I literally have no idea which guy I'm controlling right now. I'm completely out of sleep. No, okay, so all right. It says which one's Wild Style? Is that the one with the big wild face paint?
I thought so.
No, I think and when in doubt, I think I'm the one that's getting torched. Yeah, I'm the one that's getting the crap beat out of him.
When in doubt, you're on your
I'm
back.
sitting here thinking I'm doing really good here, and it's like, nope, I'm the one getting my ass handed to me. This is just great. Oh,
that's funny.
God. I'm tired. I'm tired. I got another 5 hours at work tonight, and I just don't have it in me anymore. I'm getting to be old. I hate this stuff. I'm getting to be so old. I can't stay up and do all this work. And I used to be able to not go all night. I could never go like stay up all night. I can never do that. But I could do a pretty good, till midnight and stuff. But I don't. I know I said it's almost 11 right now, and I know I don't have another.
Oh, it sucks, man. What are we looking at? Oh, Road Warrior Ace. He asked me a question on Facebook about how many front grapples, and he's mentioned in chat 33 front grapples, beyond expectations. Ultimately, we don't have enough content to make this worthwhile, but ultimately, he asked me how many front grapple move slots we're going to have, and right now we've just got 4. 4 weak, 4 strong, and a special. But ultimately, we'll want to let you be able to do. After you do the grapple move, you press A plus a direction or B plus a direction. So if you've got 8 directions, because we want to include diagonals, and then 2 different, A or B, that's 16. So 16 weak moves. If you do that again for the strong tier, there's another 16. You add in a special or 2, depending on what system we ultimately end up developing. Yeah, you're gonna have quite a few move slots. And if we give you enough content, you'll definitely have a pretty good varied wrestling match without having to repeat too many things. It'll be cool. Alex Van Dam, are there any special plans for replays in the game? Yeah, we've got really cool plans.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, I don't want to give it away yet, but yep. Short answer, yes.
Oh, I'm all Crimson Mask. I'm getting torched. That's the one thing about these 3-way dances is that they end up just both picking on me.
Somebody picked on me on social media about our Sanders sign.
Oh, it might have been on Bernie. Thinking we were Bernie Bros.
Yeah, it might have been on Steam actually, and I got this message.
I told you that was going to happen.
Like, please keep politics out of the game.
I told you it was going to happen.
And then somebody, pointed out to him, dude, did you read the Keel part? It's Sanders Keel. It's an inside joke. If you don't get it, fine, but move on. God.
Yeah, I was. That was my terrors. I didn't want anybody to think we were a bunch of Bernie Bros. God. Well,
we should have put the Donald Trump sign in the game along with it to make wrestling games great again.
Wrestling games great again. Yeah. Maybe it'll have to be our next one.
Yeah, we got
our next edition.
I don't have a Hillary sign though, and I have a feeling I'm going to need one.
All her stuff sucks, and I
know.
Yeah. But I don't know, man. The whole thing just makes my head hurt. I just really want to crawl into a hole and come out in December.
See, I'm so happy to be Canadian at this point because for so many years we had the most right-wing freaking nut running the country, and with Justin Trudeau, he gets his share of hate too, but he seems to be our Obama at least for a while.
Yeah, I don't know anything about him really.
Well, he's hated, but he's more popular than hated, so it's nice to have someone who's more popular than hated for a while, right?
Yeah, I think we're going to miss Obama when he's gone. I think even people don't like him. I think people are going to realize that he's a pretty good president, and he's a good ambassador. Like, he's chill, he's funny, he's I don't know. I think we're going to miss him, and a lot more than we think we are.
Even North Korea today or yesterday put out a statement because Donald Trump said something about how when he's president he's going to meet with North Korea and negotiate all the arms and whatnot. North Korea actually put out a statement about them not being interested in meeting with Donald Trump ever.
People don't realize that was a pretty huge deal. Like, we're not even supposed to acknowledge their existence.
Yeah.
That's even a no-no. Like, even saying that we're going to go meet with him. Like, that's you don't even say that. Like, because this guy, like I said, they try to do as much as they can to even just ignore that guy or just not even really pay any attention to him. And the fact that they even acknowledged existence was like, everyone's like, dude, don't do that. Well, because I think as the Republican frontrunner, Trump gets all the security reports now. They brief him on all that shit now, so that it's kind of like a seamless transition. So I don't know.
That's great. Well, I get that they're doing that, but they should at least. Someone needs to shut down his Twitter if they're going to give him freaking security information. Jesus.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Let's see. Just going through chat here. mask creation and belt creation in game would be awesome. I agree. That would be awesome. Let's see here. We need Justin Bieber as a jobber in story mode.
Oh, somebody will make it.
Somebody will make it.
I hope.
Yeah.
Hey, believe me, if Justin Bieber's in this game, we're going to sell a lot.
Road Warrior Ace. I have Pro Wrestling X Uprising on my PC. To Road Warrior Ace, I have one word for you.
Why?
Sorry.
Oh.
Yeah.
I picked the other word.
Yeah.
No, dude, that'd be like collector's item. And you know what? I really, like I said, I can only bash it so much because did I just get pinned? Son of a whore. I can only really bash it so much because it was our first. It was, it's.
Oh, and it was the product of year. We were using art and animations that were ancient and unusable, and the fact that we even scrapped together a playable product and released it was a miracle. Like it was an achievement.
That's what I'm saying. Like it says for as much as, like I said, you can say that about a lot of first, but it was our first. But you always remember your first. Right? Oh yeah. You no matter how bad it was.
I will always remember it because you generally do remember trauma. So
yeah,
it is cool.
Yeah, it's all good. Like I said, it's So yeah, what the hell? It was what it was, and like I said,
it's going to be collectible. Honestly, man, when we become the next Aki, people are going to be looking at Pro Wrestling X Uprising like some kind of lost. Well, I wouldn't call it a classic, but some definitely lost something. Chris Law, anyone hear about the new Andre the Giant movie? Who would play Andre? Yeah, I have actually been kind of noticing that.
I have not heard who is going to play him, though.
No, who would play him?
I don't know. You probably have to do something.
I don't know.
Some different camera tricks. Make sure everybody around him was like the size of Tom Cruise or something.
Yeah, I know, right? Man, I'm trying to think who the hell would pull off.
Although the rumor was he was only 6'8".
Yeah,
that's what I've always heard. I've heard that's actually, like I said, over the years, all that stuff has just really gotten blown out of proportion. Holy crap! Yeah. The Golden State Warriors are getting beat. Wow.
Oh.
See, I'm actually not to get all NBA on anybody, but I'm actually kind of rooting for the Warriors. I think I want to see anybody but LeBron, And I really like Kevin Durant, so I would love to see him get a ring. And Westbrook, I think, is an absolute rock star. But I like the Warriors. I think they're. I'd like to see them put the bow on the glory season. Sorry, Dave. You probably don't care about anything about basketball, but.
Oh, I'm a redneck Canadian. I don't even like hockey. So.
Really? I think that was.
Well, I grew up in a. I know I'm supposed to. Well, see, I grew up in a small town in northern Canada, where there was two things to do, two ways to go in your life. You either played hockey or you worked at the pulp mill. And it was totally like a high school movie, man, with the whole cliques and the jocks and the whatnot. And I was a headbanging freaking Beavis and Butthead guy in high school, right? And I'm not saying every hockey player I knew was an asshole, but every asshole I knew was a hockey player.
That's fair. Yeah.
So I've never developed a love for hockey. Although I do like jerseys; they're comfortable. I'll wear those.
I always had a really good time at hockey games. We got a local hockey team here, and that's kind of I think they're a minor league equivalent of they used to be the Dallas Stars, but I think they changed affiliations. But they're fun. And I used to do a lot of hockey games at Michigan State, and they were a blast. Those little small arenas and the college atmosphere is just so much fun.
Yeah, I guess
Michigan State had a pretty good program. They weren't. Michigan was always the big program in our state, but they were the national powerhouse. But Michigan State used to be a pretty national powerhouse. But when I went to school there, they were definitely up there, and so it was always fun. And you're right, hockey jerseys look great, and they feel great. And
yeah. Although I do own speaking of hockey, I actually do own a Calgary Hitmen t-shirt, but only because of the Bret Hart connection.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it's just the Bret Hart connection. It's all good. Joe wants to know, so if a scaffold match is that boring, why include it? Because I think we could make it kind of cool in a video game. I think. We're going to try.
And I just think the potential for the spots would be really
Yeah, with
fun.
screenshot mode and stuff, and you're throwing
That's
people
just
off.
it. That's I think the ability to do that, and like I said, I don't think it's. And again, I can't speak for anybody else, for the crew, but it's like I don't think scaffold matches are that terribly hard. When you've got the climbing mechanic built, it's just another surface,
Honestly, grappling, two wrestlers grappling has been the hardest thing for any programmer in the various iterations of Pro Wrestling X to pull off properly.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing is hard as difficult as making one animated character grab another animated character and synchronize. Oh, that's just been the worst. So yeah, I'm not worried about the scaffold stuff because we've already kind of proven the mechanics behind it. Even though we haven't included the scaffold match yet, we know we can make the wrestlers, climb an object, fall off an object, and all that kind of stuff. So it's gonna be fun to try. I'm gonna try it. I think it'll be fun, especially if you can, eventually set up tables underneath the scaffold or something.
That's kind of what that's what I'm angling for. I think. I just mean like in real life, quote unquote. I've never. I mean, you have the real famous one, the Night of the Skywalkers, I think it was. That's the one where Cornette fell.
Broke his leg.
But everything about that was just designed to get Cornette to fall. Like that was the whole gist of the match. It wasn't even like it's really hard. I mean, it's scary up there. And you can't do a ton of moves, and you're just kind of limited to like punches and climbing, and just crawling around, and that's not. You're just the whole thing is just building towards the fall. So I mean, there's suspense there, but
Speaking of boring gimmick matches that I would have a hard time making fun, even a video game. Remember that WCW swimming pool brawl? What the hell was that?
What was it?
I saw it recently on the WWE network. It might have been an Eric Bischoff program. It was some kind of countdown list of the dumbest or most controversial matches. And there was one where it was like 4 or 6 guys in a swimming pool trying to wrestle. And all they could basically do.
So that's it's just basically like what me and my brothers would do on every family vacation.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's crazy. Road Warrior Ace. In designing programming logic, will Pro Wrestling X borrow from random number generators so no 2 matches will be alike? We are talking about adding some randomness, but we're going to start very basically. We're starting even with randomizing the chances for a knockout or for a finisher or something even, I think, right? So,
well, I think he's even thinking like procedural generation and some of that kind of stuff. And I don't know how you'd really get into that for a wrestling game. Those things will lend them much more to like dungeon crawlers and all that kind of stuff, but we might be able to figure them out.
It would be fun to be able. I know some games let you randomly generate a character to play. It'd be fun if you could, if you threw in all of our stats, attributes, and match types. Eventually, when you have a lot of match types, it would be fun to let the game spit out some random.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, absolutely.
Burning ladder.
Somewhere I've got
match.
a lot of notes. Somewhere I got a lot of notes about that kind of stuff. Yeah, it'd be fun.
Oh, that'd be fun. Agron, no ring mat, no rope, cylinder block match with glass panels.
Cinder.
Man, you're a man after my own heart. That would be awesome. What did I see? Yeah, I saw a CZW match where they actually put guys through plate glass. Ow.
Well, that King of the Ring match with Shane and Kurt Angle.
Oh God, yeah. And then I saw a Japanese death match where they actually had tanks of piranhas outside the tank.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Oh.
Well, 5-minute warning. I'm fading fast here, brother.
All right, cool.
So get your last questions in, crazy kids.
Before Eric passes.
Eric's got to pass out, although he's. I've got so much work to do tonight. This is awful.
I'm watching Grimhold run in place. That's awesome.
Oh, it's because I'm working on other things while I'm. So I just got 4 players that are all just like actively beating the hell out of each other, and so one of them is just like do because it's expecting you can't just do 4 CPUs. One of them has to be just Eric that's not touching his controller. Although it really can't tell the difference in my game playing.
I wonder if I can share something real quick before we go. Maybe I can't. Because we're working on weapons next. I know Cole.
Don't show the thing that he's been working on.
No, not that new thing that he created from
and
scratch.
Don't use the word cola because we don't know who that is.
You did.
No, did I?
Yeah. Yeah, you did.
I said don't use the word cola.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, I won't.
Mr. Wrestling 5 has maybe he can work on something for us.
I'm gonna say we'll say goodnight here if I can pull this up, so people can actually see that we're working on weapons.
Do you want me to put something on the screen?
I was gonna share it with you, but I don't know if it's possible.
Well, you can do all the sharing you want, but the fans can't see it.
Oh yeah, okay, right. Yeah, no, just because on our crew forum, we've got posted a GIF of
There you go. Good man.
how the weapon animations are looking, right?
Oh, let me see if I can pull that up right now. I'll get that browser open.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, because it looks cool. I'll try to make sure that
It does look
things
cool, yeah.
are obscured.
So you've got all your Hello Kitty windows closed.
I'm more meaning the certain usernames on our forums.
Oh, yeah. Man, I don't know how this is relevant at all, but I was driving around the other day, and guy pulls up beside me, stereotypical biker. You know, he had his little skull cap helmet, riding his Harley, he had his Harley vest on, and everything, just total stereotypical, with a Hello Kitty backpack. That guy is my hero, man.
God bless the internet and people, and that you just see all kinds these days. It's so great.
Man, I saw a guy, this is like a couple of years ago, I was at the gym, and this guy who must have been pushing 70, he was an old timer. He had Ming the Merciless Fu Manchu mustache, the long pointy mustache, with a Klingon Empire tattoo.
Nice.
Like, that is cool. How old are you? That's awesome.
That's pretty funny. Yeah. Hang on, I'm pulling down the GIF right now. Hang on, I'm trying to. The problem is I don't have Basecamp on this machine, so I gotta pull it from my Mac here real quick. But I'll get it.
Agron is saying that the PWX Uprising Arena looks like the Wrestling Society X Arena. Yeah, it kind of does. It's based on a warehouse. Actually, Mel Hauser, who old timers might remember from early in Pro Wrestling X history, he actually was the guy.
Yep.
Yeah, he submitted the actual pen sketches of the Hammerlock. He was the guy who first came up with the concept, and he said it was based off of the warehouse in the Beyond the Mat documentary, if you remember that. Where guys there was a balcony around the top, and one of the wrestlers got in a fight with one of the crowd members on top. So yeah, he kind of based it on that. So that's a little trivia for you, man. Road Warrior Ace, Eric, do you see his question? Asking you to confirm PC release tomorrow night.
Yeah, actually, like I said, they said there was just a network thing tonight. It wasn't anything on my end, but I said hopefully I should be able to get. In fact, I'm refreshing the thread right now to see if there's been any additional posts. If other people have been running into this tonight, because I thought other people had.
Have you ever actually submitted a support ticket to Steam as a developer?
Nope.
I find they rock. They rock. I mean, people complain about Steam not communicating with developers, but I haven't had an instance really yet where I haven't had a response in like over 20 minutes. Like I've asked them a few questions about our pages and redirection, and even some technical stuff on our developer side of the Steam Developer Network, and they rock, man. So thumbs up to Steam.
Had to. I am seeing on here that the updates are working again, so maybe I'll be able to do that before I go to bed tonight. I'll have to see how I'm doing. I'm fading hard. I need to get some sleep, but here's the GIF right here. Yep.
Oh, okay, cool.
Oh, it's looking good. Crush. Now we like that.
Now we need some good audio for the sound of that kendo stick smacking.
Yeah, we do. How'd that go again?
Or whoopah. Remember whoopah from Friends? No?
No, I'm a guy. I didn't watch that shit.
Oh my god.
Friends was terrible. It got awful after the first season. The first season was wonderful.
You couldn't avoid it. You couldn't avoid that damn show in the 90s, man. It was like Seinfeld. It was everywhere.
Well, I like Seinfeld. Seinfeld was intelligent. Friends was just stupid. Oh God, I'm gonna get myself in all kinds of trouble, aren't I?
Now, I was telling our Mr. Wrestling 5 that we could use that. He also animated a new cell for the weapon. You know, like you get hit and the defender kind of crumples. I'm like, dude, we could use that for a knockout animation. That looks good.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Crack.
Well, ready to rock and roll?
I am ready to rock. Thank you so much, Eric, for showing up. People don't realize how hard Eric actually works for a living.
Nonsense.
And I know
there's rumors like that.
there's this romantic notion that every Steam game developer is sitting on a pile of money and doing it full time, and that's just not the case, man. Most of us,
Pull white trash.
I know the irony of the statement, have to work for a living, and Eric is one of those guys who really has to scratch out the extra time to throw at Pro Wrestling X. I really appreciate him showing up here tonight to
That's
host.
fun. Like I said, we're not gonna be. We're not gonna be able to go next week. I'm gonna be out of town, and so it's gonna be hard to getting back in the saddle. So I didn't want to go like two weeks plus without having some kind of fun going. But yeah, we'll like I said, should be able to get hopefully this new update live. Hopefully tonight. I'm gonna see how much I've got in the tank here, but. I'm tempted to just go to bed now and try to wake up early tomorrow, but we'll see how it goes.
I don't blame you. No one would want to blame you. Thank you, everyone in chat. And Alex Van Dam, yeah, we want to make new Pro Wrestling X shirts, too. We'll get on that.
Amen.
They will be better than ever. They'll be awesome. Thank you so much, you guys, man. I really appreciate everyone showing up and checking out what we're doing. I'm glad we can show you at least something new tonight, even if it was only the weapon stuff that's in development. And we'll keep you posted. We are really trying to crank here for the next 30 days for a reason that I don't think I'm supposed to talk about, so I won't.
Nope.
Even though it was leaked. But anyway, yeah, we're cranking on getting a whole bunch of stuff chugging in here on the game. So thank you, Eric, for getting the update up when you're able to, and we will appreciate it when you do. It's all good, man. And yeah, we'll see you all guys probably on Twitch in 2 weeks at the earliest. It might go 3 weeks. We'll see how it goes. But yeah,
I'll definitely go in a couple of. Like I said, I'm only skipping next week. I can do the week after that. I should be able to.
All right, cool. Well, we're taking next week off, so everybody have fun and go play something else.
Right. Get outside, damn it! Don't get exercise. Go
touch a boob, you guys. Come on. I don't know. Like, with consent.
Yeah, I was gonna say, let's come on, man.
I get myself into trouble here. It's all good. All right, you guys, chill out.
We gotta. This is given the X sign. Let's get out of here. Let's end this damn thing. I'm just gonna hit the damn button before you say something else. That's gonna get us in trouble.
Good. Thanks, y'all, guys. We'll talk to you guys soon. Cheers.
Later.
Bye.